Right first time, a strategic imperative for reduced defects and increased productivity. In today's competitive landscape, achieving operational excellence is paramount. A core tenet of this excellence is the right first time philosophy. By focusing on preventing errors at each stage of the production process, we can significantly reduce defects, minimize rework, optimize resource utilization, and ultimately boost productivity. This document outlines specific, actionable strategies across our supply chain, sewing, and finishing departments to embed the RFT principle and achieve these critical objectives. The journey to a defect-free final product begins with the quality of the materials we receive. Implementing stringent controls and fostering strong partnerships with our suppliers is crucial. We must ensure our fabric suppliers have a thorough understanding of our quality standards, including acceptable defect rates, shade consistency requirements, and physical properties. Detailed specifications, including visual references and tolerance levels, will minimize ambiguity. Regular audits of our fabric suppliers' facilities and processes will allow us to identify potential issues early and collaboratively implement corrective actions. This proactive approach is far more effective than reactive rejection. While aiming for less than 1% rejection, our IQC processes must be robust. Implement statistically significant sampling plans and clearly defined acceptance criteria. Provide timely and detailed feedback to suppliers on any rejections, fostering continuous improvement on their end. Develop standardized and efficient inspection protocols for incoming cut panels. This includes clearly defined checkpoints and the use of checklists or digital tools to ensure consistency. Equip our inspection team with the necessary skills and knowledge to identify potential defects quickly and accurately. Regular training on fabric properties, common cutting errors, and our quality standards is essential. The sewing section is where individual components come together, making it a critical point for defect prevention. Upon receiving cut panels, sewing operators must perform a quick visual check to ensure the panels are free from obvious cutting defects and match the accompanying documentation. Implement a robust system for maintaining bundle integrity throughout the sewing process. Clear labeling and tracking mechanisms will prevent the mixing of different sizes, shades, or styles. Enforce a strict protocol for following cutting numbers and serials. This should be integrated into the sewing process, with operators trained to verify these identifiers before commencing work on each bundle or unit. Utilize visual aids and provide comprehensive training to ensure operators understand the importance of this step and how to correctly interpret the cutting information. The process owner in each sewing line segment is directly responsible for ensuring the quality of work within their area. This includes establishing clear quality standards and monitoring adherence. Sewing operators must be trained and empowered to take ownership of their work. They should be capable of identifying potential defects and are responsible for not creating, accepting, or passing on defective work. Deploy dedicated process checkers at key stages within the sewing line. Their primary focus is to inspect work in progress, identifying and rectifying defects early in the process before they become more complex or numerous. Equip process checkers with clear inspection standards and checklists specific to each operation. Regular training and feedback are essential for maintaining their effectiveness. Ensure all thread trimming machines are in optimal working condition. Regular maintenance schedules will prevent downtime and ensure clean trims. Reinforce the operator's responsibility for trimming threads neatly as part of their standard operation. This contributes to a cleaner and more professional final product. End line and measurement checkers are the last line of defense within the sewing section. Their placement should be strategic to capture any remaining defects before the garments move to finishing. Review their standard inspection procedures to ensure they are comprehensive and effective. Critically assess their workload to prevent overcapacity, which can lead to rushed and less thorough inspections. Implement a system to balance their workload and ensure adequate time for thorough checks. Implement a system for recording the types and frequency of defects found by end line and measurement checkers. This data should be used to provide targeted feedback to upstream processes for continuous improvement. Establish a functional and independent sewing audit team. Their role is to conduct random audits of completed lots to verify overall quality. If a lot fails the audit, a clear protocol must be in place for returning it to the line for 100% reinspection and rework. The audit team will then re-audit the rework lot to ensure all defects have been addressed. Implement a system for analyzing audit failures to identify the root causes of recurring defects. This information should drive corrective and preventive actions within the sewing lines. Ensure all thread sucking machines are functional and readily accessible. Integrate thread sucking as a standard step in the final stages of sewing to eliminate loose or floating threads that can detract from the product's appearance and quality. The finishing stage is crucial for presenting a high-quality, customer-ready product. Pressing personnel must have clear and accurate sketches or specifications outlining the required measurements and shaping. This will prevent measurement discrepancies arising from incorrect pressing. Ensure pressing operators are well trained on the specific requirements of each garment style, and that pressing equipment is properly maintained to deliver consistent results. Measurement checkers and process checkers in finishing must meticulously verify measurements at critical points at each stage of the finishing process. This layered approach prevents defects from being missed and potentially reaching the customer. Establish clear and measurable tolerances for all critical dimensions. Checkers must be trained to accurately measure and identify any deviations outside these tolerances. Define realistic standard inspection times for finishing checkers based on the complexity of the garment and the number of checkpoints. Regularly assess the workload of finishing checkers to ensure they are not overloaded. Implement strategies to balance their responsibilities and provide adequate time for thorough inspections. Implement regular training programs for all personnel involved in quality control, including cutting, sewing, and finishing. These programs should cover quality standards, inspection techniques, defect identification, and problem solving. Conduct regular assessments and evaluations of checkers and auditors to gauge their effectiveness and identify areas for improvement. Provide opportunities for skill upgradation and cross-training to enhance the overall competency of the quality control team. By diligently implementing these strategies across our entire production process, we can cultivate a culture of right first time. This will lead to a significant reduction in defects, increased productivity, improved resource utilization, and ultimately, greater customer satisfaction. This is not just a set of guidelines. It is a commitment to excellence that will drive our success.